on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you the most in-depth action figure reviews here on YouTube. And today we're taking a look at the AEW Jazwares Vault exclusive Supreme Malachi Black. Interesting story with this guy. So the Vault opened end of March with pre-orders for Malachi, the Ring of Honor, Claudio, and Kenny Omega. It was 12 o'clock they went up for sale, and I just totally blanked and forgot. I was in the middle of something. It was like 12:30, maybe a little before, where someone had posted that they're up for sale, and I went, holy shit, man. Let me go grab them. But I wasn't super worried. I thought, okay, I'm just going to go grab myself 2 Malachis and call it a day. You know, I'm not really interested in the Ring of Honor figures. Just not in my wheelhouse to be transparent with you guys. So I wanted Malachi. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of today, the modern era. I love his gimmick. I love everything he's about. And I have pretty much everything released from him as far as Elites and AEW Jazwares figures. So I definitely need this for my collection. Lo and behold, I click on the link and I couldn't get in there. It was such a pain in the ass to kind of navigate. And then finally I found the link. Someone had posted it. Click in there. And it said sold out. I was like, no way, dude. I was like, how did that happen? There was like supposed to be 5,000 pieces. Apparently on the website or somewhere, it said limited to 3,000. Looking at the box right here, you guys can see it. It says 1 of 5,000. I'll even zoom in for proof. You can see it's 1 of 5,000. So I couldn't believe it was sold out. I kept refreshing. And I don't know why I had the instinct to refresh. But then I had seen someone post something as well while I was doing it anyway that, hey, I was able to snag one, just keep refreshing. I was like, oh, I did that for about almost an hour on and off. And I was able to score. And that was the frustrating thing. It would say 1 in stock or 2 in stock. I'd go to add to cart and check out. Then be like, item out of stock. And it's just like back and forth this whole game. So finally I was able to grab one. I was so stoked because it really put me in such a bitter mood. I was so upset. I was like, I don't want to have to pay like $150 for this figure. Now, let's be honest. The original release, Supreme Malachi, never made it to retail. Ringside was the only place to grab it. I did grab 2 off of there, and they are going for crazy money, especially in box on the secondary market. So I could see why this figure was in high demand. It didn't dawn on me. I didn't think it would go that quick. So whatever. I was able to snag one, and then I really wanted 2. Like I said, he just comes with so many different pieces. I kept refreshing again, and another one came in stock, so I was able to grab my 2. I'm very happy and very lucky and fortunate, to be honest with you guys. But you can see the packaging is pretty standard, sizable here. It is, kind of a little bigger than your standard size AEW Supreme box. He did come packed pretty well, so he comes with his brown shipper as well. You can see the AEW logo. Take a look at the back here. Additionally, there was another brown shipper that was really packed nicely in there. And you can see how big this box is. But look at that menacing face of Malachi. So this is the front. It actually does open. And that will reveal the artwork here on the inside. You guys can see the face of Malachi as well as the design here on the other inside of the box. If you guys want to get a quick close-up of the figure and all the accessories. So you do get 3 interchangeable heads, just like the standard with the no mask. You get only 2 interchangeable hands, but then you get the masked heads that come with the figure. You do get another set of legs here on the side, as well as those 2 cloak pieces. So similar to what we got with the original Supreme. And again, you can see the 1 of 5,000 sticker up here. So like I said, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if they're releasing more down the road. I hope so for those who missed out. But this figure looks so good in box. I will say I'm surprised we haven't gotten those Malachi hands where he does this kind of like, when he's sitting, his hands are out. That did come with the last Unrivaled figure with him in the suit. So that's pretty interesting, or Unmatched, whatever series it was. But the box does look great. Cannot wait to crack them out of the packaging as well. But let's take a quick side view. Again, this is a big box. You get an image of Malachi on one side. Different image on the other side. You can see his hands folded up forward. On the back, another large image. This is just really nicely done. Love the packaging. But you know what? Enough chatting. I know you all want to see the figure. I want to get this guy out of the box and see what he's all about. Before we take a deep dive into this Supreme Malachi Black, I want to look at all the accessories included. And we're going to get to something I'm very disappointed with as we go through here. Just bear with me first. Let's take a look at everything. So for your hands, you will get only 2 sets of hands. You get a set of fisted hands here. You can see it does have the tattoo detailing on them. Additionally, you will have a set of kind of more open hands for him to grip something, maybe a microphone. Also does have the nice tattoo detailing on there. Wish we would have, again, the open hands for him to do his pose where he's sitting down in the ring. You will get 2 sets of legs here, lower legs. They are both trunks. I kind of like when they gave the short mold for the original Supreme, just something different. They are very similar. You will see it's a gold set of knee pads with kind of like a gold trim on one, and you got the white on the other. The kick pads do have some different designs on them, so that looks pretty cool. More of a gold versus more of a weathered kind of look. On the back, you will see the different logos on the trunks. Tattoos look the same. I will say, I don't know what it is with this leg. It just has more of a space in between the seam here. And you can even see it on the other one. And I think that's where the quality lacks on some of these figures, to be totally honest with you guys. But we'll talk more about that as we go on through the review. You get a ton of interchangeable heads. So if I can put them all together here, you do get the full like face painted heads. Let's kind of zoom in so you get a better look. We'll go through these one by one. These look to be similar, dude. Are they supposed to be, like, the same? That's kind of confusing. These heads look exactly the same. Is one mouth maybe a little more open? I guess so, yeah. It's kind of hard to tell. If you see, it's more of like a kind of like just open mouth and then more of a gritting teeth. The mouth is just slightly more open. I don't really like that. I wish that would have been a little differentiation. Here's the other unmasked head, different face paint application. And they're okay. I don't really like these full face painted heads on with the white on here. I don't know. The detailing just looks it's okay. I don't really like the look of this kind of straight face look for Malachi either. Doesn't really capture the likeness. Looks a little cartoony. Additionally, you do get these two masked heads here. You will have the kind of like antler head with a gold. This, without a doubt, looks awesome. You also do get the other horn head here. These do look really great, and I probably will be displaying him with one of these on the figure itself. Additionally, and this is where I'm a little annoyed, I will zoom out. So, you get two sets of soft goods. This vest kind of goes over this cloak to kind of hold it in place. That's the point of it. You'll see it does have the kind of spine here on the back. And the material on this feels a little different than the other Supreme that came out, so I will compare it. This is the one that came off of the figure. Now, this is where I'm pissed off, man. I went to remove this, and I just ripped it. Look at that. It's very delicate. It just sounded like I ripped a napkin, and it feels very brittle. So be careful removing this off your figure. I didn't even, like, it didn't get caught on anything. The figure itself comes wrapped in a ton of plastic on his arms. And I will talk more about that when we look at the figure. And I went to remove this, and it just kind of ripped. But this is kind of like the bigger, I guess, cloak versus the other one. I'll show you guys how to put this, one of these at least, on the figure so you can see how to display it. All right, so here's our Supreme Malachi figure with the cloak on and the kind of black mask head sculpt here on the figure body. So the actual cloak, the smaller one, does fit on there pretty good. But like I said, please be careful with this. You do not want to rip it like I did. I'm still really annoyed. So I'll show you guys how to put this on. But you can see how this vest kind of goes over this part. I know a lot of people were not too sure what to do with it when they got the last Supreme. But it is very similar. So you'll throw this vest on. It does remove off pretty easily. Like I said, I'm going to be super careful. I can't believe it ripped. I was shocked. I was sitting here removing the plastic because the figure itself had wrap around his arms and wrap around the torso. So I was able to pull this part off, went to pull the other one. I moved his arm, and it just kind of, I don't know if it got caught on something or what, but it wasn't even that hard of a tug. So like I said, I'm just warning you guys now to be careful. So each of these cloaks will kind of have like a neck piece. It looks kind of like a scarf. The actual ripped one, I will bring it back here to give you more of an idea. It kind of hangs out here. You'll put the neck peg through it, like so, and then pop the head on top, and then you just kind of wrap it around to give them that look. And it looks pretty good. It gets the job done, but the material they used is not good in my opinion. See, I think this is probably where I ripped it. I was like maybe trying to remove the arm, and it maybe just got caught because it's, on the neck itself. Look how gently I'm removing this. Like, come on, man. This is just ridiculous. And it's odd. Generally the Jazwares figures, they stained hell. I went to check my Supreme figure because I didn't even think about it. I just thought, hey, throw the cloak on him. The last one had no stains, so that's kind of a good sign. I'm not even going to touch that again. The next time I put that on the figure is when it's staying on my display shelf because, like I said, I don't want to rip it. But you can take a look at the mask head sculpt here on the figure. Does look really good. It is big in size. One thing I'm noticing right off the bat, I mean, the mask looks pretty good. You can see it looks like it's actually sculpted over the original head here. You can see the face paint kind of coming through. If I could zoom in for you guys here. We'll adjust the camera ever so slightly. Nice detailing. Again, it looks like there's a face behind that mask. So I really do like the detailing there. But one thing I'm noticing is he's very pale. I don't remember if the last figure wasn't that pale. I feel like the Unmatched figure maybe had a little more of a tan to it, so maybe that's what I'm thinking. And definitely his most recent one in the suit definitely had a little bit of a different skin tone. But all the nice tattoo detailing that you would expect. You can see around his chest. Also on his arms. Let's see if they corrected it. So he does still not have that bicep tattoo that we've been talking about with the last few AEW Malakai figures. But let's kind of look around and see the rest of his tattoo detailing on this figure, on his arms. The signature demon on his back looks really good. I really do like his trunks with the white here. This is probably the look I'm going to display him with. I mean, I do have two, so maybe I'll mix and match. Maybe I'll do like the this black skull mask with the white, and then maybe the gold with the gold kind of like antlers. But taking a look at his legs, again, the nice tattoo detailing as well. I really do like how the kickers look. I do like the added detail to it. For the most part, we're kind of getting like a mesh kind of feel to it with just plain black kickers. But this looks pretty good all in all. I do want to swap out all of these heads so you guys can get an idea of how they look like on the figure. Let's run through all the different heads again. So here is the masked head on the figure body. We have one of the heads with the white face paint application on there. This one is the one with the more open mouth. Also the face painted head with the smaller open mouth. We also do have the head with the lesser face paint. I feel like this is probably my favorite out of the three unmasked heads. And lastly, we have the other gold masked head with the golden antlers on there. I swapped out the lower legs for the trunks with the more of the gold accents on there to match this like antler design. So if you guys want to get a quick close-up of that, we'll go through it just like we did with the last one. Different detailing on the knee pads, more of the gold accents. Again, even the gold outline on the kickers. You can see on the front of the trunks there are the gold accents as well as on the back. Like I said, I feel like this is just kind of makes sense. I don't know if it's accurate attire, accurate look, but I would think that he's got the gold mask on. You would go with the gold outfit. Let's go over some quick articulation on this Supreme Malakai figure. So all the joints are pinless. He does, Jazwares generally does have great articulation with their figure, so the head will fully rotate. You do have the butterfly joints, which mine are stiff. And I do remember a lot of people having an issue. If you guys are not aware, the prior Supreme Malakai, a lot of people were trying to articulate, and the butterfly joints were just snapping, so don't push them too much. If you have to, maybe heat them, but mine are not moving. And you know what? I'm not even going to mess around with this figure. But you'll see the pinless joints here on the arms. He does have a bicep cut. You get the double jointed elbows. There is a wrist rotation as well as a hinge. You do have the diaphragm joint to give you some articulation. A little bit of waist hinge. The figure itself does do the splits really nicely. He does kick up about that much. He is on those ball joints, of course, for your Jazwares figure. There is a thigh cut. You can see it moves over there. You got the double jointed legs. I believe, are they pinless? It looks like it. They are pinless. You do have the boot cut as well. There is an ankle hinge. You do have the toe articulation. A slight rocker on the side. Really great articulation. Jazwares is known for doing that. For some quick Malachi / Aleister Black comparisons, I do have a few Mattel Elite figures. So on the very left, we have the Elite from the NXT series. We have the Elite 73 with him with the kind of gray attire. And we also do have the Elite 85 figure, probably my favorite one in my collection. You can see how much bigger the Jazwares figure is than the Mattel ones. Here is something I actually never showcased before. I don't know why. So I did have a few extra accessories from the Unmatched Malachi Black. I took them on my Elite 85 Aleister Black. I swapped the head and the entrance gear, and I think this turned out pretty sick. I don't think the head looks too big, so it kind of gives you more of a modern day, Malachi Black, but in Mattel form. For some Jazwares Malachi Black comparison, so we have the Unmatched figures here on the left and right. The one in the ring gear, you can see how much darker the skin tone is, and I personally prefer the tanner look versus the kind of like lighter, paler look on the Supreme figure. You can see even the head sculpt on the new Unmatched figure in the suit definitely has, to me, a darker tan, and the head sculpt itself just has a better resemblance. I actually do have another Unmatched figure. And what I did was I swapped the head from the newest one and the hands to have him do that open hand pose where he's just kind of sitting down. I don't know why these weren't included. This was a $40 figure. I feel like they could have squeezed in an extra set of hands, but I think this is my favorite like AEW figure, just kind of, kit bashed together with some different parts from other figures. But here's a quick comparison of all of them in the ring gear. Look at how menacing these all look together. So I do have 2 of each of the AEW Supreme Malachi Black figures displayed in their entrance gear, and this is now the longer cloak that I actually ripped on the previous one. You can see how much more it takes up on the space versus the shorter one, but look at all these masks, just so damn toyetic. I'm taking a look at both of these figures here, and the skin tones look to be about the same, so they do both have the paler skin tones. You can see this one has like the MMA shorts look on there versus these kick pads here, a more of a flatter design. The tattoos, for the most part, on the chest, I think, look to be the same. I really don't want to take off all the entrance gear. For the most part, I'm going to go on face and just say it looks the same. You can see the arm tattoo detail looks to be a little more prevalent on the new one. I don't know if I like the faded look better or a little less, but here's the other side of the tattoos. Let's take a look at these two with their comparisons as far as the gear. Same thing with the tats. Again, it's the same arms, so you're going to notice they're a little darker on the new Supreme. And if you guys want to get a look at the gold kick pads versus the textured, kickers on the original Supreme figure. I love all of these masks, man. They just look so menacing. Like I said, there are no stains. I want to point that out and make sure it's clear. There are no stains on my old ones, and I've kept them both in this cloak gear. Again, one with the longer and the shorter. And there were no stains on the new figure at all. And it did come with the black cloak as well in the packaging. So that's a breath of fresh air for once, because generally these are stained. But now to talk about the material, I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is definitely a cheaper material. You can see that, like, this is a little more brittle, and I get what they're going for. They may want a little more of a weathered look, but you can kind of see the difference in the actual material used. This feels a lot softer on the original, and this just feels a lot rougher. And for sure, I'm going to say it carries over on both of them. So the 2 new ones do have a rougher material. Please, please, please be careful of removing it and putting it on your figure. You don't want to tear like I did. The last comparison I have for you guys is the new Supreme Malachi with the other members of the House of Black and their entrance gear. I absolutely love these guys. They are the best thing going in AEW today. They're pretty much the only reason I really am a big fan of AEW. I like watching Alistair or Malachi Black, as well as Buddy and Brody. If you guys have enjoyed this video review, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of this Malachi Black figure. Is this the best figure version of him made? Will you be grabbing this? Did you miss out and are looking to track it down? Let me know all your thoughts and comments down below. And while you're at it, please don't forget to turn on those notification bells. Stay tuned to the newest action figure reviews here on my channel. As far as this new Supreme Malachi figure goes, I'm glad there's another opportunity for people who maybe missed out on the original Supreme to grab them. It is very similar to the original one. I will say, without a doubt, the materials on the first version seem to be a little better. I feel like the brittleness of this soft goods, really disappointed me as how easily it rips. So I'm definitely going to take some points off. I will say, I think I prefer the original masks a little more, just a little more. This one, without a doubt, is my favorite on this figure. Just so big and crazy with the horns, but I really do like the look of them. I'm not a big fan of any of the actual non-masked heads. I don't care for the face paint. They just look a little generic. I feel like there's definitely room to improve. I really do like this version of the unmatched head. To me, it captured a better likeness to Malachi. I don't know if it's just the application of the paint or what, but the ones with the actual face paint on there, they look a little more cartoony to me, even on this unmatched figure here. I do prefer the darker skin tone versus the kind of lighter one on the Supreme figure. So it's not perfect. It is a good figure. There are still some flaws, and I am still convinced there may be an issue with those butterfly joints, because both of my Supreme figures here are very stiff. My original ones were not. And like I said, there is definitely a known issue where people were buying them, getting them out of the package, and the actual butterfly joint was popping out and breaking. So if they are stiff and you really want to articulate them, heat them first. Just play, more caution to the wind, because these are no longer available, and you don't want to have to go on the secondary market to track it down if it breaks. I doubt Jazwares is going to give you any replacements. So is the figure perfect? No. Is it a fun figure? Yes, absolutely. I still prefer the original Supreme, but I may even go out there and say I actually like the unmatched figure a little better than the Supremes. Like, you can articulate this guy. The tattoo detailing is still there. You may not have as a detailed of entrance gear. You get more of that kind of plastic look going with that one masked head, but you can grab any of these heads and throw it on the unmatched figure. I think that's just a little more fun, a little more playable. Unfortunately, these, again, are no longer available. Hopefully, we will see more in-ring Malachi Black, maybe as a general release on the Unmatched Unrivaled wave. He's definitely one of the most popular guys. Selfishly, I wish he was still with WWE. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video review. I hope I have been able to provide you with some insight on this figure and, a better close-up look. Before you go, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at AlexWestCollects. Thank you so much for your continued support, and I'll catch you all on the next one.